So you want to start your own business. You think about it, you talk about it, you even find yourself researching at 2 a.m. when you should be sleeping. But somehow you haven't started yet. So what's really holding you back? I believe these are the three biggest issues why people don't start their own business even when they desperately want to. First up, fear of failure. What if I am wrong? What if it doesn't work? What if I lose everything? What will people say? This is the second one, financial pressure. I can't afford to give up my steady paycheck. Third one is overthinking and perfection. I need the perfect idea, the perfect plan, the perfect logo before I can start. If any of those thoughts sound familiar, you are not alone. But here's the good news, they are not permanent. You can break through them. And it starts with one simple mindset shift. You don't need perfect, you need progress. Hi, my name is Saman. I used to solve problems by building software. Now I focus on driving strategy, which creates real impact and brings results. Welcome to BB Plus, the channel where we break down everything business, ideas, growth, and winning strategies so you can learn, apply, and succeed. In this episode, I'll give you 7 actionable steps to start a business. But before that, let's go back and tackle the issues we discussed at the beginning. First up, fear of failure. Reframe failure. See it as a learning, not a dead end. Start small, test your ideas with low risk experiments. Plan for setbacks. Anticipate challenges so they don't feel overwhelming. This is the second one, financial pressure. Money issues often stop people from starting a business, and that's completely understandable. But here's how you can handle it. Many successful entrepreneurs started on the site, 1 hour a day, one customer at a time. Start lean, keep your expenses low. It's not a good idea to quit your 9 to 5 job without a safety net. Instead, start part time and test the waters. I know your excuse, I don't have time. And you are right. With a full time job, it's hard to find time. But here's a smarter way to free some of it. In fact, I have used this approach many years ago and it worked. Many others have used it too. A well known example is Monish Pabrai. He moved from full time job to full time business in just 9 months. It might take you shorter or longer. Who knows? Let's do some quick math. You will be surprised how much time you actually have. Everyone gets 24 hours a day. That's 168 hours a week. Let's break that down. There are 168 hours in every week. Everyone gets the same amount. The question is how you use it. Start with the sleep, about 8 hours a day. That's 56 hours already gone, necessary and healthy. Meals, chores, exercise, family, they all matter. But they fill another large part of your week. Then add commuting, 5 to 10 hours depending on where you live and work. Next comes your full time job, around 40 to 45 hours each week, a big slice of your time gone. Now look at what is left. Those blank spaces are your hidden hours. They often disappear into scrolling or streaming. What if you claim just 10 hours a week, 5 evenings of 2 hours each, and dedicate them to your business idea? 10 hours a week becomes 40 a month. In 6 months, that is more than 250 hours. Enough to test, learn, and launch. If you want, you can free up more time from your weekends as well. It all depends on you. That is how you turn no time into found time. The secret isn't working non-stop. It's working intentionally and meaningfully. And here's the third one. Set clear priorities. Focus on the most important tasks first. Adapt, launch, and improve mindset. Time box your decisions. Limit how long you spend on thinking each step. Now that we have tackled these common challenges, it's time to take action. As Walt Disney once said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Building a business is a lot like building a house. You don't jump in and put up walls and a roof that would collapse immediately. Instead, you start with a vision, then you sketch, then you design and test it. Not only that, you find a way to finance it, and only then you start to build it. Step by step, the house comes together, and before long, the door is ready to open. That is exactly what we are going to do here. The 7 steps to start a business. Build just like a house. Okay, let's move to step 1. This is the most important step, the critical one, and it really matters. Why does this step matter? Here's the simplest truth about starting a business. If you don't know exactly what value you bring to people, you don't have a business. What you have is a hobby. That is why step 1 is so important. In fact, I made a full video called What is a Business, where I dive deeper into value, creating, capturing, and delivering value. I have given the link in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, before you touch a logo, website, or social media, you need clarity on one thing. You have to ask this question: what problem am I solving? And why someone will care enough to pay me to fix it? This is your foundation where your business will be built on. When you are clear on the value you create, every other decision gets easier. Your product, your pricing, your marketing, all of it starts here. And the good news, you don't need a big idea. You just need a real problem worth solving. So, where do you actually find those problems? You don't have to sit in a lab waiting for a light bulb moment. Here, I'll show you 2 methods to discover them. The first method, what I call pain to profit. Turning your personal problems into business ideas. The best ideas usually come from your own life. Things that annoy you, waste your time, or make you think there has to be a better way. Yes, the fastest way to find a great idea is to look at your own life and ask 3 simple questions. This is the first question. What frustrates me every single day, every week, every month? These frustrations often exist because you can't find a product or service that truly meets your needs. This is a second question. What am I paying for that I know could be way better? When you use a product or service, think about how it could be improved to a much higher standard. This is the third question. Where do people constantly come to you for help? People naturally come to you for your advice or support in areas where you have expertise or experience. Those 3 questions are a gold mine. They help you uncover problems that are ripe for business ideas. Here are some of the real world examples that they have used these questions. In 2008, 2 computer engineers were attending a conference in Paris and they couldn't find a taxi. So, what did they do? They turned that problem into a solution. And that solution became Uber, a global ride sharing platform that changed how people get around cities. This is the second example. Sarah Blakely Spanks. She was frustrated with traditional undergarment and wanted something more comfortable and flattering. That personal problem turned into a multi-billion-dollar business. This is a third example. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, Airbnb. They couldn't afford rent and had extra space in their apartment. Their personal need to make money from that space led to creating Airbnb, now a global company. See the pattern. Personal pain points often become the strongest business ideas. If I were to come up with a business idea to turn my pain into profit, this is what I would do. As you can see, I'm a bit of a bold person in more ways than one. Normally, I'm comfortable with my hairstyle, but if I ever wanted to change it, I couldn't. If not having hair were a problem for me, I would look for a solution. And if none existed, I would create one. So I began looking for answers in places most people don't. I know the Bernard Becker Medical Library is home to thousands of rare medical books. Among them are two medical Ola leaf texts from Sri Lanka. They are handwritten on palm leaves and preserved for centuries. And that is when a question came to mind. What if inside one of these 18th century palm leaf texts there was a forgotten formula for hair growth? Just a question worth asking. Here's an action for you. Pause this video and write down 10 frustrations you have felt in your life. These could be small annoyances or big problems, anything that make you think there has to be a better way. Once you have written them down, start thinking about how you could turn one of those frustrations into a business. This is the second method. 4 lenses to find your founder sweet spot. But here's the thing, not every problem is your problem to solve. The best ideas live at the intersection of what the world needs and who you are. And to find that intersection, we are going to use what I call the 4 lenses framework. Why do some ideas explode while others flop? It's not luck, it's not timing, it's clarity. And that clarity comes from looking through 4 simple lenses. So these are the 4 lenses. First one, excitement. Does this idea really light me up? Second one, expertise. Do I already have or can I quickly build the skills to do it well? This is the third one, effect impact. Will solving this create the change that I really care about? Fourth one, earning potential. Are enough people willing to pay for this? Where those 4 areas or 4 lenses overlap, that's your founder sweet spot. When looking through the 4 lenses, there are 2 ways to apply this framework. You start with a problem, then ask, am I the right person to fix this? For example, Canva. Melanie Perkins saw students frustrated with design software. She thought, what if design didn't need to be complicated? What if anyone could design just by dragging and dropping? No training, no experience, no design skills required. So she built simple drag and drop software for yearbook design. This is the second way. Start with your passions and skills, then look for problems in that zone. For example, Tesla, passion for engineering plus sustainability. That means better electric cars. By the end of this step, you should have a short list of 2 to 3 problems that really matter. At least one idea that passes all 4 lenses. This clarity is your foundation. Get this right and every next step becomes way easier. Okay, now we have a brilliant business idea. Let's jump in and build it. Is that what we are going to do in next step, step 2? No, that's a big mistake. What we are going to do instead is market test that idea before building it. And that's exactly what step 2 is all about. Validating your idea to make sure real people actually care before you invest time, money, and energy. Now you have a business idea you are really excited about. It's tempting to jump straight in to make it and start selling. But before you do that, there's one thing you must make sure of. Can this idea actually be turned into a real product or service? If your idea is still experimental and you are not 100% certain that it can work in practice, your best move is to go back to the drawing board or lab and make sure it does. This step is vital. So you need to be confident that once you have the resources, money, people, machinery, you can actually produce it. If not, your idea risks staying as just a dream or worse, misleading others about what is possible. Another thing to keep in mind, if it takes too long to make your idea real, someone else might copy it. They could produce it faster and bring it to market before you, unless you have strong protection like patent. When you have a solid idea, there are two possible paths. First is to test the market before you commit your resources. Second is to build it first and then try to sell it somehow. The problem with the second approach is this: you don't have answers to three critical questions. This is the first one. Do enough people actually want it? This is the second question. Will they pay enough for it to be profitable? And this is the third one. Will they keep buying or stay loyal enough for it to grow into a real business? Without answers to these questions, you are building in the dark. And here's the bigger picture. Answering these three questions is your first step toward what I call product market fit. That's the point where your product and market line up. When you are offering something people truly want and they are ready to pay for it. And here's the reality. According to CB Insights, 42% of startups fail because there's no market need. Not because the founders lack passion, but because they built something nobody really wanted. For example, take Juicero, a $400 Wi-Fi juicer that raised over $100 million. Customers quickly realized they could squeeze the packs by hand. The business collapsed. Or look at Google Glass. Yes, it was groundbreaking technology, but it launched without testing whether everyday people really ready to wear a computer on their face. The hype turned into a backlash and the product was pulled from the market. But market testing isn't just about avoiding failure, it's also how the biggest successes begin. Take Canva. Melanie Perkins didn't launch a $1 billion design platform on day one. She started with Fusion Books, a simple online yearbook tool. That was her market test. Thousands of schools used it, proving people wanted drag and drop design. With that evidence, she raised funding, brought in the co founder, and scaled into Canva, one of the most valuable design tools in the world today. So, what is market testing? It's about finding evidence before you spend big. Proof that people want what you are offering and they will pay for it and that they will keep coming back. Think of it as a bridge. On one side, the idea, on the other side, the reality. Market testing is the bridge between them. And here's why it matters. Market testing is how you start moving toward product market fit. You are not just asking people, do you like my idea? You are asking, is this the kind of thing they will keep using, paying, and telling others about? But here's something crucial. Market testing only works if you are in a position to deliver. If your test succeeds, if people sign up, pre-order, or even try to buy, you must be able to turn that into a real product within weeks or months, not years. Otherwise, you will lose trust. Because market testing isn't about fooling people, it's about proving demand and then following through. Right now, your idea is like a blueprint. It shows what could be built, but it's not real until you test it. The question is, will it work? And will people want it? Now it's time to find it out. Here are 5 simple ways to test your idea with real examples. Method 1: Landing page test. Create a simple one page website. Explain your idea clearly and add a call to action like join the wait list or sign up for early access. Track how many people click or sign up. If nobody is interested, that's feedback too. For example, Dropbox. Before writing a single line of code, they made a short explainer video. Thousands of sign-ups proved the demand. That gave them the confidence to build. Method 2. Fake checkout test. Show your product online. Let people add it to a cart. And only at checkout reveal this is still in testing. Thank you for your interest. You are not taking money, but you are testing if people are really ready to buy. The good example is Zappos. The founder tested online shoe sales by taking photos in stores. He only bought the shoes when someone ordered. That simple test proved people would buy shoes online. One important note: fake checkout tests work, but only if they are done ethically. Never take money and always reset expectations clearly. You are testing intent, not tricking customers. This is the third one. Pre-sell the product. Instead of building first, sell first. Offer pre-orders and see if people are willing to pay upfront. If they do, you have proof of demand and you also get initial funding to produce. But here's the warning. This only works if you can deliver soon. If people pay and wait years, you will lose credibility really fast. For example, Pebble smartwatch, they launched on Kickstarter, raised over $10 million in pre-orders and proved massive demand before making a single watch. This is method 4. Testing online communities. Go where your audience already hang out, like Reddit, Facebook groups, industry forums. Share your idea, run surveys. Good example is Airbnb. The founders first tested their idea by renting out air mattresses in their own apartment. They posted in small online communities for conference attendees and proved people would pay to stay in a stranger's home. Method 5. Build in public. Share your journey openly. Post updates, show prototypes, even share failures. Do this on platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, or Indie Hackers. You will attract early supporters, get real feedback, and build an audience before the product even exists. For example, many new founders launch this way today. By the time they release, they already have hundreds, sometimes thousands of eager customers waiting. These are 5 simple but powerful ways to test your idea in the real world. The goal isn't the perfection, it's validation. You are looking for evidence that people want it, will pay for it, and that you can deliver it. And remember, validation isn't just a checkbox, it's the path toward product market fit. That's the milestone every startup is chasing. Because once you have it, the growth becomes a lot easier. Once you have market tested your idea and gathered proof that people actually want it, the next big question comes up. How do you fund it? Because having a great idea is one thing, but turning it into a reality takes resources, money to build, launch, and grow. And here's the reality. According to CB Insights, 38% of startups fail because they run out of cash or fail to raise new funding. That is why next step 3 is all about finances and funding, understanding your cost, managing your money wisely, and figuring out the smartest way to fund your business. Now you have designed your dream house. Plans are ready, site is clear, foundations are marked. But the site is empty. No bricks, no beams, no builders. No matter how good the design is, without money, nothing will be built. Business works the same way. Without finances, it can't even start. Your idea may be brilliant, but without money to bring it to life, it will stay just as an idea on paper. However, some businesses can even start with little or no money. Even giants like Nike and Apple started small. Nike began by selling shoes directly at local track meets. Apple began with just $1,300 and a simple home built computer. No investors, no big budgets, just smart money moves, and they built something massive. And here's the difference: building a house is a one time project, but running a business is an ongoing journey. It's not just about finding the money to build it once, it's about managing money every day so your business can grow and last. That is why this step, finances and funding, is so important. It gives you the skills to manage money wisely so your business can survive and grow. Here are 5 things for you to consider. First up, budgeting. Most people think budgeting is just writing down startup cost. And yes, knowing your cost before you start is critical. It helps you avoid running out of money early. It also guides you when to hire or buy equipment, and it prepares you for shortfalls even before they happen. But here's the truth: budgeting is more than just a money checklist, it's your financial roadmap for the journey ahead. It is not a one time task, it's ongoing. You don't budget once and forget it. You track, refine, and steer as your business grows. Good budgeting means 3 things: know your income, what's actually coming in, track your expending, where your money goes, set goals and adapt, give every dollar a job, review often, and stay flexible. Startup costs lay the first bricks, budgeting keep the bill going. This is the second one: cash flow. Cash flow is simple: money coming in versus money going out. Even if your sales are strong, late payments or piling bills can drain your cash fast. Cash flow is like the flow of supplies. If it stops, the bill stops. Most businesses don't fail because they had no sales. They fail because the money stopped moving when they needed it most. This is the third one: funding. Funding is how you get the resources to start construction. There's no one size fits all approach. These are the 4 most common ways new businesses get their funding, each with its own pros and cons. First up, savings. Use your own money so you answer to no one, but if things go wrong, you carry all the losses. Next one is loans. A lender gives you capital and you keep the control, but repayment starts immediately, whether you are making money or not. Next one, investors. They provide funding and open doors. This is the fourth one: crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is telling the public about your product or service and asking them to fund it. It builds attention first. Test whether strangers care enough to give you money. Attention can get people to give you money, but you still have to ship what you promised. If you are new to the market, crowdfunding is the test. If people are already buying, funding comes easier because money follows proof. Choose the funding path that matches your build and the level of control you want to keep. This is the fourth one: cost control. Every dollar matters in the early stages. Spend only on what grows the business or keep it alive. Fancy offices or expensive software might feel nice, but they drain your budget fast. Stay lean until your business can afford more. Think about it. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, even Google, they all started small in garages or basement to keep costs low. Meanwhile, companies like WeWork burn through billions on luxuries and their overspending brought them down. Control cost or cost will control you. This is the fifth one: planning for growth. Managing money isn't just about survival, it's about proving you are ready to grow. If you want investors, partners, or lenders, you need a clear financial plan and projections. That shows you have done your homework and can handle bigger responsibilities. Tesla didn't attract billions because it was profitable right away. It did because Elon Musk showed a clear roadmap, production targets, scaling plans, and a vision investors believed in. And again, product market fit matters here too. When your product and market are aligned, your plan carries much more weight. Because growth isn't luck, it's planned, tested, and backed by real demand. So remember, without resources, nothing gets built. Finances keep your business moving. Budget well, track your cash flow, secure funding, control your cost, and plan for growth. With step 3 in place, you have got the resources to keep building. And next in step 4, it's time to turn the plan into a product and bring your idea to life. You market tested your idea and people loved it. They clicked, they sign up, some even said shut up and take my money. You arranged the financing too. So what's next? This is the make or break moment. Build it wrong and it flops. Build it smart and you are on your way to something big. Now here's the thing, building your product looks very different depending on whether it's a physical or digital. This means something you can touch and hold, like clothes, food, or gadgets. To build it, you need to think about prototyping, manufacturing, supply chains, and even inventory control. You also need suppliers. You will test materials and you will make sure you don't order 10,000 units of something people may not want in that exact form. A digital product is something created and delivered in digital form, like an app, a website, an ebook, or software you download. Some are used online, others can work offline. But the key is this, they are not physical. You don't need factories or warehouses to make them. What matters most is how fast you can build and how easy it is to use. That means thinking about a few basics: hosting, where your app or website lives, design and usability, keeping it simple so people will get value right away. Tools, you don't always need to code. Templates, no code platforms, or even manual hacks can get you moving fast. The difference is simple. Physical products need suppliers and logistics. Digital products need speed, usability, and the right tools. Either way, the goal isn't perfection. It is building a minimum viable product. That is the simplest version that delivers real value to your customer. For digital products, MVPs are ideal. You can launch something simple, get feedback, and improve quickly. For physical products, MEPs are somewhat trickier. You can't always ship a rough version. People expect basic quality. That is why smart founders test with prototypes, handmade, 3D printed, or small batch versions, mockups, packaging samples, or digital renders. Crowdfunding, pre-orders that fund the first batch, small runs, 50 or 100 units to test the real demand. The goal isn't to make it perfect, it is to prove people want it before you scale. Remember, what you are building is a bridge toward product market fit, not the final version, just the proof that customers value what you are offering. But here's the key, it's not just about building. You also need to plan how you deliver it to customers. For physical products, that means logistics, shipping, packaging, storage, and inventory. If people order, can you get it into their hands quickly, safely, and at a cost that makes sense? For digital products, that means distribution, how people will access it through an app store, a website, or a direct download. Do you have the rights hosting or servers? Can users sign up easily and start using it right away? Physical delivery means moving boxes. Digital delivery means smooth access. Both are just as important as building the product itself. Amazon started by selling only books, manually fulfilling orders before scaling. Dropbox validated demand with a demo video before building the full product. Airbnb tested demand with their mattresses in their own apartment and a basic website. The pattern is the same. Start small, test fast, grow with proof. Who will build it with you? You have got several options. Do it yourself if you have the skills. Hire freelancers for specific tasks. Or find a co-founder if you need someone in the trenches with you. Don't rush into a big team. Stay lean, test small, then grow. For example, Product Hunt is a community where people go to discover and share new products from apps and websites to gadgets and tools. Today it is one of the most important launch pads for startups. But here's how it started. Ryan Hoover didn't begin with a big platform. His MVP was just a simple email list where he shared cool new products with friends. When people loved it, he partnered with a developer to quickly build a basic website. That lean approach turned into a global community and eventually a major startup acquisition. The lesson: you don't need a giant team or platform to begin. Start small, deliver value fast, then grow once you see proof. Keep it profitable. Don't blow your budget on branding, logos, or fancy software. Spend on what makes customers happy and revenue grow. Everything else is noise. Example: Spanx. Sarah Blakely started with just $5,000, no investors. She sold her first units herself directly to stores. That scrappy start turned into a $1 billion company, and for years she owned 100% of it. The good news is this: you don't have to do it all yourself. There are tools, there are no code platforms, there are freelancers and manufacturers who can help you move quickly without breaking the bank. Okay, now you have built your first version and you have planned how it will reach customers. But before you put it out onto the real world, there's one crucial decision to make, that is setting up the price. That is where we are headed next. Step 5: Pricing strategy. I'll show you how to find the sweet spot between what customers are willing to pay and what keeps your business profitable. When you are starting a business, there's one question that can make or break your success. How much should you charge? Too low, you leave money on the table. Too high, you scare away customers. In this step, we are diving into pricing strategies, how they work, real world hits and misses, and a simple startup playbook so you can set the right price from day one. A pricing strategy is the method you use to decide your price. It's not random. It's a balance between your cost, customer demand, competitors, your goals, even psychology. And at the heart of it all is one thing: the perceived value. Perceived value is how much your customers feel your product is worth. It's not your cost, it's their perception based on what they see, feel, and believe. Perceived value comes from four elements. They are physical, functional, logical, and emotional. Physical means design, material, and packaging, etc. Functional means how well it performs. Logical, they are the practical benefits like saving time or money, etc. Emotional means feelings like happiness, sadness, fear, anger. Combine these and you influence what people are willing to pay. Think about it. People pay more for an iPhone than a basic phone. They pay $5 for a Starbucks coffee when beans just cost cents. Tesla, Rolex are luxury brands. They all rely on perceived value. A meal kit startup launch at a too low price. Customers assume cheap meant low quality. Sales struggles until they rebranded and raised prices. If your product is completely new, you will need to shape perceived value from scratch. Look at the size of the problem you solve, the benefits you deliver, and what people already spend on alternatives. Then test price points to find where demand and profit meet. Next, we are going to talk about three common pricing strategies. First up, cost plus pricing. Cost plus pricing is simple. Take your cost, add a markup, and that's your price. For example, if it costs $50 to make a chair and you add 40% markup, you sell it for $70. But here's the catch, perceived value still matters. If customers see your $70 chair as luxury, you might be underpricing. If they see it as flimsy, you might be overpriced. Some early electronic startup priced only on cost plus. They ignored perceived value. They left huge revenue on the table because customers were willing to pay more. This is the second pricing method, value-based pricing. Value-based pricing sets your price on customer perception, not on your cost. For example, a candle might cost $5 to make, but if customers feel it transforms their home, you can charge $40. For unique first to market products, this is powerful. You are compared to the value you deliver, not to your competitors. This is a failure story. Juicero, a high-tech juicer, launched at $400, but customers quickly realized they could squeeze packs by hand. The value didn't match the price, the company collapsed. This is the third pricing method, penetration pricing. Penetration pricing means starting low to win customers, then raising prices as your value grows. For example, Netflix began at $7.99 a month. Amazon Prime started at $79 a year. Both raised prices gradually as they added more value. Here's the trick. You must increase perceived value along the way. Otherwise, customers leave when the prices rise. Some startups use penetration pricing but never built value. When prices went up, customers churned. They had only joined for the low cost. So which pricing is best for your business? There's no single best answer. It depends on your product and your stage you are in. Selling something common, cost plus works. Solving a unique problem, value-based price is your best friend. If you are entering a crowded market, penetration pricing gets you noticed, but only if you build value first. This is the startup pricing playbook. Here's how pricing should evolve as you grow. So, pricing isn't just math, it is perception. The more valuable your product feels, the more freedom you have to price for the growth and profit. Start with the right strategy for your business. Keep building perceived value and learn from both successes and mistakes. When you nail pricing, you turn your product's worth into a sustainable business. Here are some pricing do's and don'ts. Now you have built your product, refined it and made sure it delivers real value. Every feature, every detail has been carefully crafted to solve a real world problem for your customers. But here's the truth, even the best products can get lost if no one knows it exists. Imagine this, two businesses launch similar products. One becomes a household name, other fades away. The difference, marketing and branding. This is where your business stops whispering and starts standing out and shout. Where you move from just another option to becoming the brand people remember and choose first. It all begins with how you introduce yourself, your marketing, and how you build your trust, your branding. Marketing is your first handshake. It's how you introduce yourself and start the conversation. But it doesn't stop there. Every ad, every post, every campaign is another handshake. A reminder that you are here and ready to serve. Branding is the relationship that follows. It's the trust, the feelings, and the bond that grows over time. A handshake begins the connection. A relationship make it last. Marketers often talk about 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. Together they explain what you sell, at what value, where people can find it, and how they will hear about it. But here's the truth: in today's crowded market, the 4 P's are not enough on their own. You also need branding, the personality, the story, emotional connection that makes people choose you over everyone else. Think about Apple and Nike. Apple doesn't just sell devices, it sells simplicity, design, and lifestyle. Their shot on iPhone campaign isn't about specs, it's about your life moments. Nike doesn't just sell shoes, it shares inspiration. Just do it shows ordinary people overcoming challenges. Their message is clear: if you have a body, you are an athlete. People don't remember ads, they remember stories. Stories that make them feel something. You don't need a giant budget to do this. You can start small. Here's a practical guideline to build your brand. Marketing and branding are not one time steps. They are the engine that drives the growth. Done right, you are not just selling a product, you are creating a movement, a tribe, a story that people want to join. That is how you move from being an option to being the choice. Now that your product is ready and your brand is strong, it's time for the final step: launching your business. Step 7 will show you how to take everything you have built, your idea, your testing, your finances, and your brand, and bring it to life in the real world. Get ready, it's time to open the doors. This is it, the big moment, the moment you have been building toward from the start. Now it's time to open the door and bring your business to life. You must pick your legal structure. It may be sole trader, partnership, or limited liability company, or some other structure that you prefer. However, they all have their pros and cons. Sole trader, simple to set up. You are the boss, but you also carry all the risk. Partnership, you share decisions, skills, and profit, but also responsibilities and liabilities. Limited liability company or LLC offers more protection. Your personal assets are separate, but it comes with more paperwork and rules. Register your business name and secure your domain. Get your tax ID, necessary licenses and permits. Protect yourself with insurance if necessary. This is optional. A quick chat with a lawyer or accountant can save you headaches later when setting up your business. We talk about branding in step 6. Now it's time to actually create it. So create a logo and design simple branded material such as business card, email signatures, templates, etc. So they will help you to get the message across. Open a business bank account and keep it clean and professional. If necessary, use accounting software to track everything. You can decide to manage books yourself or you can get some help. Here's the important thing: never mix personal and business money. Your website is your storefront to the world. Make it professional, mobile friendly, and easy to find. Pick the social platforms where your customers are. Show up consistently. Stock up inventory and secure reliable suppliers. Plan packaging, shipping, or delivery. If you have a team of freelancers, give them clear roles and tools. If your business is service based, have contracts and onboarding ready. A launch isn't quiet, it's loud. Plan your promotions, social media, ads, emails, even influencers. Offer special launch deals or giveaways. Keep momentum going even after launch. Check everything: website, payments, delivery flow. Do a soft launch with a smaller group first. Track sales, traffic, and feedback. Refine, tweak, and level up. Don't wait for perfect. Perfection delays progress. Launches. Launching isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. So open the door with confidence because this is the moment your business comes alive. So good luck with your new business. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another business video.